You caught me again at work. See, you thought I was just taking my water break. Water is important. Hi, I'm Frank, and I'd like to go through here today, the Visualizer 3D software. Looking at my list here, and I have the old-fashioned list here. This is one that you can click on, but the links don't work here. We have to check the HTTP on that. But I want to go through here the Visualizer 3D software, and over here on the other side here, I have the screenshots running, so we'll be able to jump from the video to here and back and forth as we need, and water is good. So, moving on along, I want to go through the graphical user interface today. I want to show where we have the different buttons, what they mean, just a really short here, just so that we can get you on board. We can get into more detail later, but I want to do this right now with this. So let's start off here. At the very top, we have the standard here, Microsoft Windows menus here, File, Edit, View, Extra, Windows, Help, etc. Those are always at the top on every program. I'm sure everybody knows about those. If not, then there is guaranteed other avenues about that. We have the graphical user interface. With this graphical user interface, we can go through here and show you how to work it so you understand what it is that you're looking at and how it is that it affects you. I have a nice little scan here that I've taken out from a different project, but for this right now, I'm going to close it. Yes, I want to close it. Yes, we can save it. And I'm going to start off here from the very beginning. So now you just turned on the software and voila, you have a screen. What do I do in this screen? Oh my. So we're going to start off here. Let's start off with our main toolbars. First of all, we have the very top one here. This is our main toolbar. And this is going to do from, we want to import a new project. That means I have now done a scan with one of our units. And with this unit here, I have to import the data or export the data from here and import it into the computer. So then you have your very first, your import button. And that's the very first one here. And so when I click here, I'm going to come up on the different types of equipment that are available. And you'll go through the different views, different pieces of equipment to import a project. So let me go ahead and hit cancel on this. That's that first button. The second button here is to open an existing file. So when we click on here, it's going to open up a directory. All right. Or if I turn over here on the other side here, it's going to give me a list of previously opened files. So that I can look at something I've already had open. So let me go and just pick one, anyone. That's the winner today, and it's going to open up a file. Okay, with this file that's being opened, I have then more options that have now become available. What I'm showing you here is on the professional version, which is highly recommended. Even though the standard version will do just fine, there are some features of the professional version that make it a lot easier to work. But let's continue on our main toolbar. Working on, I think, we have the first one here, which is, of course, import a scan. It says right there. And we're going to open. And then the next one here with this little down arrow is open previous scans. The next one is save. When you do something, save it. It's a click. Well, if you don't save it, oh, what was I doing? Oh, did I forget to save it? Ah, geez, and you have to go through and do your work all over again. Okay, then we have the characteristics panel. This characteristics panel is, gosh, important. I will click it just to click it because I miss it. If I don't see this thing on every scan, this is the one thing. Me as a support person, if you do not do this, then please take the information and do it again. Do it. I don't want to have a picture from the phone. You go, oh, wait a minute. Click with the phone and take a picture. I want the scan. Main scan. I'm the service guy. I'm the support guy. I want to help you, but I'm going to go through here. Do your characteristics. How long was your scan? how wide was your scan. If anything, if you don't have anything in there, you make sure that these buttons here, field length right here, and field width right here, that they're filled in. Critical. No matter what else, that's got to be done. The rest of the stuff we'll get to later. All right, then we're going to go on down the line here. In the professional version of the software, you're going to get your PDF reports. Love them, love them, love them. Gotta love it. It's great. Look at it. It's a wonderful thing. You can put in information, print it out, have it there, put it to a PDF, send it to your friends, family, colleagues, etc. It works. Then we do have the next one here, which is auto scale. When you have the auto scale turned on, it'll find its own way within the screen. And so you don't have to scroll up or down and try to find it. Sometimes you may turn it on and it will be so small that you can't see it. And then you have to scale it larger, larger, larger. That is one of those functions that work. Then the next one we have is our view. So I can go full view. I have only one item in the view. I can come here to say the default view, which I have my main screen, and I have the 3 screens onto the side. So I'll get my side view, my top view, and my skewed view or oblique view. Okay? And then I can go quad view, which means I can change every scan and it is just broken into 4. But here's one of the things. I could take this one and move this one independently. I could take this one and move this one independently. I can do the same with this one, move it independently, etc., all the way down the line. Those are some of the positive features of it. If I wanted to go and say, oh, by pushing that one key, the key that says I want to look at the top view, it's this. And these get down to the next menu here. So I'm going to get on this here in one moment. Then we have here our settings, our preferences. These are general settings that you need to go through. No, you don't really need to go through them. We did a pretty good job from the beginning. Okay, when we turn on the software and program it all in, most of the stuff that you're ever going to need is pre-programmed. You can come in here, you can play with the general, you come in here and play with your folders, see where you want to save items. If you have a special area where you want to save it, you can save it in there. The visualization, how do you want to see everything? What is you want to see? And how do you want it to work out? These are all little factors that you could turn around. And in the event that, gosh, there's this little thing in the corner, it's called factory defaults. If you have so fine-tuned it that you can't do anything, click it back to the beginning so you can go back and readjust everything. So factory defaults is a nice little feature. I have personally never gone in and changed any of that information except for my folders. Other than that, everything works out. And I've been here for a little bit. So let's go on down here. That's our main menu on the top bar. Okay, that's our main toolbar. This is what we have over here. Now we have the left toolbar. On the left-hand side, and I have here a quad view left open, so I can show you how this works. We're going to go here. This is to pinpoint. I'm going to actually start on the second one here, which is rotate. I can rotate this any way I want to rotate. On the very top one here, this is my pointer. And when I have this here, I can pick any spot available. And I click on it, it'll go to any spot. So let me get up here and make that a little bit larger. This is my rotational here. That means I can rotate it anywhere I want. And if I go back up here to the top part, I can pick any position of the scan that's there. And so that is that. Now my rotate, so I can rotate it out. And then I have my position. So when I click here, I can position it left, right, where I want to have it. Then I have my scaling feature. So I can scale it just by clicking on it and holding on. I can scale it by moving the mouse left and right. It'll scale. Okay? Until I scale it so small that I can't see it anymore. Then let's go down the line. Then I have my side view. You see here, it says perspective view. Let's scale this down a little bit. That's a perspective view. I'll go to the next one. And then I say, this is my top view. How about that? There's my top view. And then I'll go to the next one here, which is my side view. Wait a minute, go back to the top view. I'll go here to my side view. And there's my side view. So you see, I'm getting all my different views from one point. Then at the very bottom here, it's a reset. It'll undo. Whatever your last one was, it'll undo it. So if I come in here and I undo it, I was already there, it'll undo. Not always necessary, but nice to have. Let's move on to the right toolbar. Okay? On the right sidebar here, we're going to start off here with, when I click it, it's going to automatically expand. Do you see that? So one click, it expands. These are my soil types. Soil types are great to have. They will help you determine your depth. It is important to know the correct soil type that you have. There is a section here for, if you go down into the description below, I have already done a video on different soil types. Maybe they put the description here, or maybe it was here, but I think it's in the description below. You can see it. The soil types are important. They will help you determine your depth if you know the type of soil that you have. If you don't know the type of soil you have, for me personally, I'm not a super geologist. I haven't done a soil sample survey, and the transfer of the electromagnetic signal and spectrum that travels through that type of soil and the dielectric properties. So therefore, I just have picked a neutral soil. But it's important to have. Then we're going to the next one here. This is your scan information. These are really important little features that you don't need to necessarily change, but it's going to say, this is where you are. If I have my particular, come over here to my left menu here, and I'm going to select an area on here. As you see in this area, this crosshair section where I have my point on, it's going to tell you what is at that point. What is the signal at that moment? And with this here, you're going to have this information. Good information to have. You will know your scan line. Okay, you'll know your impulse. You know your scan width. You will know your impulse. And it'll tell you your positioning of it. Okay, where you are. And it'll tell you the approximate, and I'm going to say approximate depth for the soil type chosen. If you see a depth and it says the depth here is at 13.59 meters, is that the actual depth? No or yes. If the wrong soil type is chosen, then that will be most likely not accurate. If you are fairly close with your soil type, it'll be fairly accurate. You need to determine your soil types when you are scanning. Otherwise, it is a good reference as to the signal differences. So we're going to come down to the next line. The next section here is bookmarks. Bookmarks are really useful, especially when you are doing reports. Put that bookmark in there. Show them what you're looking at, especially in a report. I want to send a report off to my boss to say, this is what or my friend, or my colleague, my brother, my father, my sister, my wife, my dog. No, because he eats my homework. But these bookmarks are good to have. When you want a bookmark, you can say, I want to put a bookmark in. And let me start off here. Yes, you select with your pick point, you pick a point here. And I'm going to then click here. I'm going to say, what is this bookmark? This is a title. This is going to be blue. So I want a title here and say blue. And then I can pick my color and I can say blue. Let's pick a color. Okay. So I change this and say possible. Please do not judge my typing. It is terrible. Okay, and then I'm going to say outline. At this moment in time, I have the choice of a rectangle or of a circle. If I say I want a circle, I click on the circle. How many impulses do I want it? So I may go, well, let me go here and say 5 or 7. And scan lines, let's say 3 or 4. 4 is good. And I'm going to hit OK. At this point, we have a blue circle coming around. And let's go down here on this area here. I see that I can't see this too well. So I can click on this. I can hit my edit. I can change the color. So maybe the color is a little easier for me to see. And then I hit OK. Then I hit OK. And now my color has changed. The possibilities are there. These are nice little possibilities. All right, let's go to the next section here. That's a bookmark. Then I'm going to come over here and say these are my modifiers. Well, what do I need modifiers for? Modifiers, this is a very long subject, but let's say I have a error or a possible error signal. And I'm going to come over here and say I have an error signal, so I want to do a signal correction. So I'm going to push on the add modifier, and I can come down here and scroll for my interpolation. I can do a subdivision, I can do a signal correction, or a rotational correction. But let's, for this example, just so I can go through the menu items, I'm going to do a signal correction. I'm going to keep the defaults, and I'm going to say OK, and it's done a signal correction. Because there was no error, there was no correction, but it would have theoretically neutralized all the signal around it. And it will be here, so you can undo it. You click on it here, you can hit the undo button, the trash can, garbage can, rubbish container, rouleaumur, I don't know what you want to call it, and it will then send it away. Paper basket, waste basket. So let's move on down to the next thing. Those are the modifiers. Very nice sometimes to work with. And we'll go to the next one here. Then we have our visualization. In this particular scan here, in these menus here, we can go and change certain things like colors. Let's change the colors. Let's go over here. Let's change the attributes. Let's change the view. So as we change different colors, you're going to see we can customize it to what we want. I can also change in the gradients of colors. If I want to enhance a color, this is going to move over my 1 scale, or I can move it back. The scales will move with that back and forth. Let me get a little more dramatic color here while it will show up a little bit easier. As you see, the scan is getting darker, and I'm just going to click on this here, and it'll become darker, or I can put it back to the neutral point. Okay, so with that being said, I can change my views here, change my colors, change the intensity of the colors. As you see, the color bar has been changing here as I'm clicking away. In here, you can also change here your texture opacity. You can change your soil background in the side. If your soil background on the side is very strong, as you see here, did you see that? Watch again. I'm going to move this from the left to the right. As I move this over, okay, I can pretty much make my soil intensity disappear or increase or decrease it so that it'll give this effect of soil. Very nice to have. Your next feature here, okay, is your transformations. What are you doing? What do you want to change from? This gives you the different scales of how you want to change this. This will change your depth, your at the very bottom, for example. Or if you don't want to do it that way, you can actually just hit it with a scale here to change the values. So these are all available for you to have. And regardless of which picture you have, whatever is highlighted in that picture is what you're going to be changing. These are all your commands from the left to the right. These are all your translations here from one to the other, and our transitions of how you're going to work from one area to the next. This is your crosshairs. You can move it from one section to the next section, or you can move it up and down if it has to move up and down. These are all great little tools. Getting to know them, take a scan, go through, click, 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 click. Click on all of them. Follow along with me, hit the pause button, go back over there, hit it again, listen to what I'm saying, don't listen to what I'm saying. It's all good. As you click on it, you're going to realize, when I click here, this does this. When I click here, this does that. I'm going to be making videos here and quick tips for each and every little function. So when you have a question to say, what did this button do? What did it do? I will go down here and click on that section here from our web page, which is going to have a link exactly to this is how you do it. There's a video on it. Our marketing people, they're working hard to make it all happen. Okay, so that would be our graphical user interface. And I'm going to say as a general here, this one particular section is cleared up. And then shortcuts are already done. We've gone through several of the shortcuts. That'll be my next section. So stick around. We'll go one section after the other. We're going to make it all happen for you. Thank you.